The most common fracture that I see in the office is a distal radius fracture. That's the classic broken wrist. One of the conditions I see really commonly is distal radius fractures, more commonly known as a wrist fracture or scaphoid fractures. But the most common fracture that I see in the office is a distal radius fracture. That's the classic broken wrist. Whether you're 8 years old and you fall off the monkey bars, or you're playing football and you get tackled, or you're out skiing or snowboarding and you fall, what's the first thing you do when you fall? You stick out your hands like this, and instead of breaking your head, you break your wrist. Wrist fractures or distal radius fractures account for 1/6 of all fractures seen in an emergency room, so they're super common. As part of my practice, I've developed a really keen interest in treating distal radius fractures in that I see them all the time. And distal radius fractures that are neglected or poorly treated cause really significant outcomes in terms of disability and having stiffness and deformity of your wrist can really alter the way you're able to use your hand and interact with the world, whether it's, again, at home or at work or playing sports or doing hobbies. So it's really important to have your wrist fracture treated appropriately. The good news is treatment of distal radius fractures is highly successful. We've evolved from the old days of just putting someone in a cast and hoping for the best and accepted, really bad deformities to techniques now that allow us to restore essentially normal anatomy of the broken wrist. Often this does require surgery, but the surgical outcomes are outstanding. And the vast majority of patients that I see, I would say greater than 95%, are able to return back to full activities without pain, and as well without long-term issues like developing post-traumatic arthritis. So it's really gratifying to take somebody who has a broken wrist and be able to fix it in a way that moving forward, they won't have any issues with and can return back to normal life.